Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. I'm Jennings Bernard, your host. As always, you can catch me right here each and every day, Monday through Friday, from 5 to 6 p.m. Tell a friend to tell a friend that Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil is on the air. We welcome you in. You know what we do here. We talk business, legal, social, but most of all, we talk a lot of politics because politics is everything, and everything is politics. And you can look around and see every day it's politics that is affecting you and your family, along with myself, lives every day. And we got to get in control of this politics. And I've been saying that for a long time, and I will not bore you long. All I do is drop it in your lap, and we'll see what you're going to do with it come 2026. It's not going to get better until you start doing better. You have the power, not the powers that be. The powers that be take advantage of you and your power. Once we learn how to control our power and who to give our power to, then and only then will we be in control of our lives. The first thing you do is always control your vote. Don't allow anyone else to control your vote or take your vote. You know the Democrats are going to show up in the black community, black churches, and all of that and say, hey, here I am, vote for me, and I'm going to set you free. They haven't done anything but ran you in the ground. Look at your communities, and I keep saying that, trying to get your attention to realize that you're not getting the best of the best like the rest are doing in the city of Memphis. Don King said, only in America, I say only in Memphis, Tennessee, do we put up with this poor representation that we have in our community. Well, it's going to be a short one. I'm not going to take up the whole hour like I usually do, stressing to you that you have the power. But I'm going to just put it out here and let you see and give you the understanding of what's going on in your community. And you have control of your community because you have control of the people, the politicians that you put in office, if you would just think about it. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to start thinking. My friend is sitting here on my desk. He's called the Thinker. And you have seen this image for many years. I've seen it back even when I was a child. And that was a show called Dobie Gillis. And I'm way ahead of a lot of you all that didn't understand it. But research it. If you look at it, Dobie Gillis always came in front of this statue called the Thinker, and he would say what's on his mind. He would say what he did that day and how he messed up or he did good that day, or give you a scenario. And when I saw this, I've been had this thing here over 30 years. It's been in my offices, the various offices that I had here at home and the one that I've had in business. I always had the thinker there because it reminds me to think before you react. And a lot of people are not thinking before you react. And you give your votes away to these individuals that are doing your thinking for you. Well, I'm going to just point some things out here today that really ticked me off. When I saw it, when I heard it, I gave you a little bit of it yesterday. Well, this is going to be the part two of what I'm talking about. And this individual here, I've always said that you follow the money trail. And if you follow the money trail, you would then find out exactly what is going on in your community if you would really pay attention. Some of us don't want to pay attention. Some of us just like to stay in the position that we are in. And I don't believe that we should stay in these positions because we can do better. And I'm going to go through uh, certain pictures here in my IT guy. Didn't get a chance to put up the other pictures, what we're going to talk about. But this individual, that Chase Carlisle, who is the chairman of the budget committee in the city of Memphis City Council. And excuse me, I'm looking at something else while I'm talking to you, but he is the chairman. And when it came up with the vote of the 2% that were negotiated by the mayor, Paul Young, uh, they gave him, as I said on yesterday, they gave him 3%, but the union wanted the other 2%. They debated the thing back and forth, up and down. Being the chairman of the budget committee carries power, and individuals from the city council may want something done in their district, but they talk to the budget chairman. This is uh, Chase Carlisle. You know, he's the one that I told you about in regard to being on the council who said he would recuse himself when it came up to the hotel vote for the city of Memphis to give his brother, the CEO of the Carlisle Group. Well, this gentleman here, if I have to call him that, is about the money. He probably has a whole lot of money. We have individuals, in my opinion, on the council that want contributions, in my opinion. And he can get them to vote on the line of what he's thinking. Now, he raised all kinds of hell, ladies and gentlemen, in giving the fire department, first responders, their 2% that was left after they gave them 3% of the 5% that was promised to them. He raised hell and said that he didn't think that the city council or the mayor or whoever should give the other 2%. He said it, it's on record. Uh, you could hear him on video talking about not getting it, and he wouldn't give it to him. But what the sad part is about it is about these individuals that I'm finna tell you. These are black women that I love my black women. I tell you that. I love the African queen, but it looked like the African queen are following this individual that you got, that I have rather, on screen right now. When you look at this man being the chairman of the budget committee, when it came down to the vote, follow me, Chase Carlisle, right here, decided that he would not go along with. So he did something that, to me, slaps a face in every hardworking fireman who goes out and fight a fire to put your home out if it's on fire, to go into a building and run in and get your child. Even they have gotten your dogs and cats out of a burning building. But this man says that they are not worthy to get their 2%. Now, you can say, well, he didn't say they're not worthy. He just said that they don't get the 2%. Well, open your eyes, open your ears, and listen to what he's saying. If he said that he did not want to give them the 2%, and he voted against giving them the 2%, he's saying, in so many words, in my opinion, that they are not worthy to get the 2%. Y'all follow me? But what shocked me is that these five female black on the council went along with him one way or the other. And let me tell you who they are. You need to know that Yolanda Cooper Smith is that picture you see. You don't see it because I don't have it up, but you know who she is. Yolanda Cooper Smith and Pearl Walker, that is my representative on the council. And you know, I got something to say about that. Those two, along with Chase Carlisle, voted not to give the 2% to the people that will save your life, that will run into a burning building if it's necessary, a first responder. But yet they voted. And let me say it again so you can remember this when election time comes. Yolanda Cooper Sutton, Pearl Walker voted against paying the 2% to the first responder fire department. And the other two, to me, these are cowards on the highest level. You saw what Cooper Smith did and what Pearl Walker did. They voted against. But these people, I'll call them what I call them, and stand by these cowards that you have elected, Rhonda Logan and Shamika White. They abstained. And see, to me, they are not doing the job that you sent them to the council to do when they say they abstain. That's just a cheap way of not saying a yes or no. But these individuals go along with this guy that's on the screen. So let me take him off for a moment here, because there is a problem, ladies and gentlemen, as I see, that when we send people to represent us, and you know, everybody that's in their district, in the district of Yolanda Cooper Smith, in the district of Pearl Walker, in the district of Rhonda uh, Logan, and Jamaica White, they wouldn't have wanted them to abstain from giving the 2% to the fire department. None of these people would have wanted Yolanda uh, Cooper Sutton and Pearl Walker to vote against giving it to them. But it's about the money. Although, in my opinion, that Chase Carlisle is a council member, but yet he also is the brother of the brother who owned the Carlisle Group. Do you think that they do not receive money from the Carlisle Group? It's all politics here, and they're playing it at your expense. I just wanted you to know, and I'll be putting these pictures that's already up on my Facebook page. Go to it, look at it, read it, study the people that have you have elected to be your representative. They went against the first responder. You had some of them vote against the police department and the men and women who work on the police department have been in law enforcement, decided that they would put their life on the line for you. Now they're asking for a certain amount of money, but my question to you, how much would you put your life on the line for? If you think about your life versus the first responders and what could possibly happen, is 5% enough for these first responders to go out and put their life on the line? But what's so disrespectful is for these black women, that not women enough or strong enough to get around the contribution that may be given to them when election time comes, because you follow the money. It's the same guy of the Carlisle Group, Chase that says he didn't want to give them the 2%, but he had no problem at all recusing themselves so the Carlyle Group could get control and run the Sheraton Hotel. And they will eventually, as I said to you on my page, will end up owning the hotel at the expense of the citizens of Memphis. It's your money that got the hotel, 22 million plus the 8 million comes out to 30 million that they will study and get it for 2 years. Well, once the Carlyle Group get it and study and do whatever they're going to do for the first 2 years, and then they get the hotel in swing and operational, then it's going to be turned over to the Carlyle Group. What do you get in regard to your tax dollars being spent by the administration? And I do believe, in my opinion, this was the agenda. This is a plan that was thought out while you were sleeping, but they found the right individual to put in City Hall by the name of Paul Young to make sure that this would carry out. Ladies and gentlemen, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out what is going on here. And I'm going to keep telling you, I'm going to keep researching and looking at these individuals. Every time I see something that don't smell right, don't look right, and probably if you could eat it, it wouldn't taste right. And that's the politics in this city. Only when you wake up and smell, as the old people used to say, and I'm one of them now, smell the coffee, because something is wrong with politics in this city we call Memphis. And the reason they can do this and put it in your face because they feel that you don't care enough to be concerned about what's going on in your own city. And I would say that they're absolutely right. Because when only 25,000 voters got Paul Young into the office, when a $1.5 million was given to Paul Young's campaign to get into the office, it says to the powers that be, the money people who runs Memphis, that all we got to do is just bow off the politician by way of campaign contribution. And truly, these 5 women that sit over here, Yolanda Cooper, Sutton, Pearl Walker, Jamaica White, and Rhonda Loken, I'm not surprised because it's all about contributions in this city. I want you to think about this. I want you to go to my Facebook page and read this and look at it. And if you think about it, most black people who get into races are not funded by black people. Black people don't have the money that we know we could have if we were smart enough to pool our resources together. We could be as strong or mightier than a Carlyle Group. But what happens when they say, when you divide, you conquer? And the black community is more divided than any race I've ever seen or ever known. Why? I do not know. The only time that they were together was when we was trying to be equal, when we wanted to sit at the front of the bus, when we wanted to be integrated into the school system. How did that work out for you? You are large in charge of the school system, and it's failing you and your children right now. But what we have to get in our community is real thinkers, real understanders who understand how it works and how it play out. Putting people in office like these 5 women Have you heard of them in any way, shape, form, or fashion before? Really, I'm talking about on a citywide level. Have you heard of Yolanda Cooper Smith? Did you hear of Pearl Walker besides being a beautician? Did you hear of Rondo Moore or Jamaica White? No, not on a level enough for you to put them in office. But you did, and look what you got today. They voted against the 2% along with Chase Carlisle, the budget chairman. They followed him. When they recused themselves, they might as well have voted against it because that's what they actually did. Rhonda Orr, you voted against it when you recused yourself, giving them the 2%. Jamaica White, you did the same thing. So you might as well went on and did what Yolanda Cooper Sutton did, along with what Pearl Walker did, and vote along with Chase Carlisle. Now, why do you think that the money man got these five women to follow his lead? It's something to think about. I put it out here. I want you to understand it, and I said that's all I'm going to do is put these segments out here. You do what you do. I'm going to continue to do what I do, and that is to inform the people. And for all of you weak individuals out there in our Black community that want to portray that you are strong, but yet you don't get up and go vote, you're weak. You can't give excuses because too many people that look like you and I died for the right to you to have to vote, but yet you say you won't do it. And that's a problem. If you don't correct it now, it won't get corrected. And you will continue to spiral down that hole, that rabbit hole of no return. People like Chase and the Carlisle group would still be recusing themselves from the big deal that end up giving to the big wheel. They would still play you. If it's not Chase and the Carlisle group this time, it would be somebody else the next time. Why? And how can they do that? They do it because of the people we put in office. We may be the majority, but we still are the minority in the city of Memphis because money is buying and controlling our representatives. I'm Jimmy Bernard. You've been listening to Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. As always, that's all I got to say about that. I'm not going to waste my time and your listening time, listening to me stressing these points over and over again. So what I've decided to do, yes, I'm here from 5 to 6 p.m. But when you start the conversation and understand where you are now as a race of people, as a citizen of this community, and how you're being manipulated by the system, when you start looking up and start doing things and asking questions, then we're going to get busy. We got individuals that's running and going to pull their applications that don't know up from down, but they're going to get out there because they think they may get lucky and end up with a $40,000 a year salary. How some of the old politicians are sitting around doing now, and that's their livelihood, playing politics on you. 40,000 plus expense or whatever else they get, that's the income. How many of you all out there would love to have a $40,000 income along with the income that you do have? So that puts you in a good bracket. And that's what we're getting. We're getting Black individuals that are running for office, not to represent you, but to represent themselves. And I'm sick and tired of it. And I'm going to continue to do what I do. But I ask you not to continue to do what you've been doing. I'm telling you and asking you to get up off of your do nothing and start doing something for yourself and start relying on other people to do things for you. God is giving you the strength and the help if you're in condition to do that, but you sit down and do nothing, then that's on you. I've always said a man can do better than a fish sandwich if you teach him how to fish. They say a fish sandwich will feed him, or a turkey will feed him for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he can buy his turkey. He can get his fish sandwich anytime he wants because he has done things to make his life better. That's what the people are supposed to do, ladies and gentlemen. When they represent you, they are there to make your life better by any means necessary, legally, to make sure that your life is better. And if you don't do that, if you don't believe that, then you're stuck in that gear of stupidity. And I'm saying to you, get up off of your do nothing and start doing something for yourself. 2026, 2028 is going to dictate what your future will be for years to come. And how you vote will also dictate that. So I say to you, I put it out here. I say to you, these five women have let you down, as well as letting the first responders down. But it was passed. They got their 2%. But they didn't get their 2% because they were thinking more about themselves as elected officials as opposed to you, the first responder, the people of this city. In the words of my grandmother, she used to always say, if it's the Lord's will and the creek don't rise, we'll see you on tomorrow. But remember what I always say. I always say, and this is a good point, because of these five women right here. Trust everyone, but do not trust the devil inside of you. Yolanda Cooper Smith, Pearl Walker, Rhonda Logan, and Jamaica Smith. These five, but the four women that's on here ought to be ashamed of themselves to call themselves representative of the people. God bless. We'll talk to you on tomorrow. I hope something I said will help you to do better, to think better, and make your life better than depending on other people for a fix.